Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another match, and today I'm gonna start with game 1 from a best out of 3 series taken from the Black Dragon League. I think this was played last night, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was, and it's a clash between two top European players, one from Sweden, another one from Germany. As you can see there from the chat, you already noticed who they are. It's gonna be here on the south side of the Zelnaga Caverns. nAni, now a member of Team Dignitas, also known as Naniwa. He's a Swedish player, quite a solid Protoss player, though he had some troubles in the past, in the last like 3-4 months. He skipped and hopped through a lot of teams in Europe. Also had some attitude issues and some anger management issues, but he has been evolving and I think he's a lot better now, and hopefully found home in Team Dignitas and gonna start focusing and channeling more of his energy towards the play and the style and the skill level that he needs to achieve to be on top of his game, and less on the anger and the rage and the BM. Anyway, I think he's much better now than he was like 6 months ago, so good for Naniwa and good for all of us. He's gonna be facing against this Terran here, this purple Terran. GoOdy is a German player, member of Team ESCGoOdy, and probably one of the most solid Terran players in Europe at the moment. I'm pretty sure that most of you watched the games that he played against Nasty last weekend, and after those matchups I decided to grab some replays from GoOdy. I was just curious to see him play a bit more. I do know that he's very macro orientated, loves his mech, invests a lot on mech play, plenty of siege tanks and Thors and so on. I'm even wondering if he's gonna start popping some battle cruisers into the battlefield, because with the patch I think the battle cruisers now are a lot more useful for a Terran player, and a good option, a valid option for the late game. So based on that and taking a peek at what both players are doing, enough of the blabbering about the players, and you guys can investigate for yourselves anyway after this small and short presentation. We're gonna have on this side GoOdy just finishing his wall off, while here on Nani's side he's just actually having an interesting Sim City here. He's getting gateway into Cybernetics Core, a standard opening, but his Sim City here, as you can see, is just basically blocking the access to the back of his mineral line, probably to make sure that if any drop occurs here on the back, he's going to be able to intercept it and kill it really quickly. Still, this area here is still open, but I guess he's going to close it later on. I'm assuming that's going to be his option based on what he did on the other side. And meanwhile here on GoOdy's side, he just finished up his wall off with the racks and the 2 supply depots. Ooh, that probe was attempting to get up that ramp, but the Marine was waiting for it on the bottom of the ramp, so I don't think that Naniwa spotted anything there. No, completely blackout, and I guess he's gonna have to do something else later on to try to find more about what GoOdy is doing. Also, you might be wondering why GoOdy had this Marine all the way down the ramp. You might be expecting some kind of trickery and surprise by GoOdy, something that he doesn't do that often, to be honest. GoOdy is very macro orientated, quite a solid Terran player, and he doesn't go for much of that, but well, I guess we're gonna follow and see what's the follow-up for this strategy from GoOdy. For now he's just pulling down with the first couple of aggressive units, offensive units here, a Marine and a Marauder, and establishing a bunker right on the front of the ramp from Naniwa. While here on Naniwa's side, as you can see, he placed some buildings here, has a gateway, and probably this pylon with the warp gate technology will allow him to just warp in units down there if he's willing to. I mean, it's a solution to just flank this kind of containment that GoOdy is trying to apply. And incoming GoOdy all the way up that ramp, trying to shoot down some of those units. Keep in mind that the Marauders already have the concussive shells, so they can just slow down and micro those zealots to kite them around and kill them even before they do any damage. And meanwhile we have more units coming out, and Nani decided to establish a pylon here behind the shrubbery, with GoOdy just being suspicious of something and going there to make sure he's not going to get any units warped in into his ramp and straight into his main base, while he's trying to pull down and apply some aggression and some offensive into his opponent's main base. For now he has it completely contained there. Naniwa decided to warp into Stalkers to finish off the poking that Marauder was doing on the pylon, so we still will have the pylon to warp in more units later on and try to enter GoOdy's base. For now on GoOdy's side, he went for that 1-1-1 opening, as you guys can see, the racks into factory into the starport, and already getting some siege techs out, so I'm assuming that he's gonna do something similar to what he has as his standard builds, with a lot of mech and already getting some siege tanks out. Also Vikings, kind of premature I would say, but maybe he's preparing himself to counter any kind of Colossi play that Naniwa might go for. Meanwhile here inside Nani's base, he's playing out of 3-4 gateways already, so we might be seeing a push soon enough. He's advancing with a lot of sentries, by the way, backed up by a small group of stalkers. Also has the warp gate here on the back that is going to warp in more reinforcements, and he's going to just gather all of them right on the front of the natural expo from GoOdy, and advance incoming Naniwa with the bulk of his forces getting ready to climb up that ramp, waiting for the sentries, probably going to try some force field play, and incoming the poor Zealot is going to lead the charge and get blasted. There's a nice bunker position here that will help a lot on shooting down the units, but good force field there will stop all of those SCVs from actually repairing the bunker, while he focus fire and destroys the bunker. Killing all of those units now is the next step, trying to climb up that ramp, focusing fire on that supply depot, interesting or not, with the front units trying to poke at the Marines, but there's a big clump of units here with the siege tanks already, with siege tech ready, blasting away at any unit that attempts to climb up once more and forcing Naniwa to pull back. Incoming reinforcements from Naniwa, that pylon has been very, very useful, and meanwhile at the same time Naniwa has been expanding, so he's just benefiting from the pressure that he's applying right on the front of GoOdy's base to expand to his natural expo and start benefiting from the economy that will result of being working out on 2 mineral lines. Trying to flank here Naniwa. There's siege tanks here on the ledge, as you can see. They have range for any unit trying to advance here on this area, so I guess that Naniwa won't be able to advance unless he masses up a much bigger army than this. For now he's just gonna place a containment here, so kind of a trade-off, because GoOdy did the exact same thing to him before. And meanwhile GoOdy is preparing a command center, so I guess he's gonna try to expand soon enough. He will be needing some forces to come down that ramp and blast away at the units there. Also here on the back another factory and engineering bay for some upgrades, so plenty of aggression ensuing, and Naniwa getting a nice force field there containing all the movements from GoOdy and just delaying a bit more his advance to attempt to place the command center on the natural expo. So benefiting from the income, as you might imagine. Actually we have still GoOdy leading the way, interesting here, but well, the mules will help on that, and he has a lot of SCVs there, as you can see. He also made a lot of workers to prepare them to transfer to the new expo, but for now he still was ahead. Now it's showing a different sign here. Now finally Naniwa was able to establish his natural expo and working out on it just fine with a lot of workers, and he's gonna start pulling ahead on the economy game. Meanwhile we have those siege tanks trying to blast away, and notice how Naniwa is being pesky and annoying here. He doesn't allow his opponent to even climb down its ramp and go straight into the natural expo. And now finally, because the energy is just weared out, or probably doesn't want to contain it anymore, he's gonna allow GoOdy to come down that ramp and prepare his natural expo. So 2 base Terrans soon enough, incoming against a 2 base Protoss that has been here for a long time. Ooh, Immortal just blasting away that SCV that was keeping tabs on the natural expo from Naniwa. Let me take a look at the base, the main base. We already have here the robotics facility and the robotics base, so Colossi play ensuing. How many is he gonna do? I'm not sure, but hopefully it's gonna be quite a bunch. He's getting Immortals as well, which are a quite effective counter against mech plays such as this one. Those Immortals will blast away these siege tanks, for example. Also quite useful against these Marauders. And what else is he getting? Let me take a look. A Forge to get some upgrades rolling. Extended Thermal Lance already getting researched. And meanwhile here on GoOdy's side, let's see the unit composition. Yeah, plenty of mech already. 4 siege tanks, 2 Vikings. We also have 2 Hellions there, interesting, and plenty of Marauders. He's not gonna go for a lot of Marines. He's basically gonna commit himself to his standard mech play. Army count 97 against 91, and the income I think now will be fairly balanced. Though we have here Naniwa with more Harvesters, is still quite similar. So both players playing on even platforms currently, and hopefully one of them will decide to go for the 3rd base to pull ahead on the economy game and just get the income, get the profit from it. Incoming two Hellions trying to roast that Zealot. They actually did it. Impressive death. Okay, cool. I wasn't expecting that, but those Hellions were able to just roast that Zealot before they got blasted away by the forces from Naniwa, and Naniwa already destroyed the rocks here, so he's gonna grab his third on the rich mineral field. Interesting approach here. He's gonna risk a bit. Obviously it's hard to defend this area, but if GoOdy doesn't pull down and starts looking around for Naniwa and notices that he's working out on that rich mineral field, I mean, it's gonna be win-win situation for Naniwa, and probably is considering the fact that GoOdy likes to contain, likes to take his time to reinforce and gather a force to be reckoned with, like a massive force to just make a big push. So he might be considering his options here and probably take the chance, because he assumes that GoOdy won't be showing up anytime soon and he can just pump out his economy as much as he wants. Incoming a Hellion harass straight into that mineral line from the Natural Expo. There's a nice wall here. Notice the defense that Naniwa established here. It's like he's mind reading GoOdy, and very well placed. All of this building stopped those Hellions from advancing there, so excellent option. And meanwhile we have this robotics bay working just fine. Already have the Twilight Council getting established, so I'm assuming that we're gonna have maybe Blink Stalkers, or I don't know, Zealot legs might be useful as well. And he's even getting a second robo, so more robo incoming, plenty of Colossi I would assume. For now he's just charging ahead, gonna go all the way up north and take a peek at what GoOdy is doing. Keep in mind that he has been hanging there on the middle of the map for quite a long time. There's not that much scouting going on, and meanwhile GoOdy already has the Ghost Academy and an armory, so Thor play or more upgrades ensuing for his mech play. And Ghost Academy, which is so useful for the Terran player against Protoss. Those EMP rounds from the Ghost will work wonders against the Protoss Death Ball. Removing all the shields is just very, very nice, and a proper counter. And whoa, notice that Naniwa is actually gathering a fairly big Death Ball. This doesn't look very good. And meanwhile we have still GoOdy flying around here with his Hellions. Well, they actually don't fly, they just go really fast on the ground with their rubber tires. You know what I mean, just going really fast. But Naniwa just finished them off so quickly, and is actually messing up a big Death Ball here. How many Colossi? Already 5 Colossi. Army-wise they're fairly close for now, still not much of a difference. And I'm sorry to say, but I'm probably gonna have to take these HP bars off. Probably only gonna leave the ones from the Colossi, because it's gonna be a lot of units clumped on top of each other, and also these Vikings on top won't help. And now GoOdy finally advancing with this command center that was hanging there on the left side of the Natural Expo for quite a while, advancing towards that rich mineral field, trying to keep the pace up on the economy game, because as you can see at the moment Naniwa is just leading by far, and obviously GoOdy needs to do something about that. Now it's on Naniwa's hands to decide when to push. His army is quite solid and sturdy. Both of them are darting towards the 200 count on the army. As you can see, the supply is almost getting maxed out, and when we get to that point, I mean, upgrades and the right unit composition will take the decision. For now we have plenty of upgrades here. We have 6 Colossi. This is gonna make tons of splash damage, and also a lot of Immortals there. And keep in mind that the Zealots have charge. Here they go, charging ahead against those Hellions. One of those Zealots that charge got blasted away by a siege tank instantly. But like I was saying, apparently Naniwa has plenty of good counters, also some effective upgrades here. 2 here already on the attack, getting the level 3 weapons now, and getting set to probably try to make a push soon enough. Careful, ooh, that Immortal got left on the back, that's not good. We need to keep in mind that GoOdy has a big clump of Vikings there that will help out putting this Colossi down fairly quickly, but still it's 6 of them, so it won't be that easy. Ooh, that one almost got shot. The Stalkers finally advancing, but a bit too late. They weren't able to take a single shot out of those Vikings, and he needs to be careful with this Colossi. I need to keep them on the back with the extended thermal lance, just splashing damage into the front line. Once again, another nice attempt to snipe, and incoming all the forces from Naniwa advancing towards GoOdy. Whoa, massive clash here with all of the Colossi just grinding down the forces on the front line from GoOdy. And now we have the Vikings trying to finish off the Colossi force, only one left, but the Immortals have been putting a lot of damage on the ground and destroying so many siege tanks. So nice move here by Naniwa. He actually was able to break through, and now he's going way up north into the Natural Expo with his opponent. And though GoOdy has some units stationed there close to the Zanaga watchtower, instead of coming up and trying to finish off this assault, he's gonna pull down, so we're gonna follow it on the picture-in-picture screen while I follow Naniwa here, advancing towards the natural expo of GoOdy. Oh, he's just wreaking havoc here, destroying so many workers. And meanwhile, we have GoOdy just trying to pull down into the third base, into the rich mineral field of Naniwa, and try to pay back for this assault, this aggression that Naniwa is putting on his natural expo. But I'm not sure if he's actually paying or not. Pulling SCVs to try to make damage on these Stalkers and Immortal is even a bit awkward. Look at the Medivac healing the SCVs. This is not standard Terran aggression here, Terran defense. But incoming all the forces, he basically raised the SCV count, the worker count here on the natural expo, and forced GoOdy to GG out of this match, because the push that GoOdy decided to go all the way down south to that rich mineral field from Naniwa failed, and he didn't have anything else to defend, so he knew how far he would be back and set back after he lost this base here, especially with Naniwa working out of these 3 bases and being this one, the rich mineral field, pumping just fine. So he realized that he would have a really hard time getting back from that, so he GG'd out on this first match with Naniwa taking the win. Okay, game done. Let's go for game 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. See y'all later.